This is Al Foran for TV here at the press conference for Eubank Jr. versus Benn 2. I'm here with my main man, Sonny Edwards. Sonny, we'll get to Eubank Jr. and Benn a bit later, but Ishmael Davis and Sam Gilly, your guy. A lot of people have felt that Ishmael was very unlucky in his last fight in Windsor Park. Do you feel he'll just be too much of a stern test for Sam Gilly on Saturday?
Look, Sam Gilly's a good fighter. He's a champion in his own right, Commonwealth champion. I think a few years ago maybe he was a bit better. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading a bit too much in his last fight where he drew against Gideon Onyani. But it's a fight that we wanted for Ish about 14, 18 months ago whenever he beat Troy Williamson and became mandatory. For one reason or another, that fight hasn't happened until now. Before all of these big fights that you've seen Ish take, this was the fight that we wanted. So it's sort of clicking back into the trajectory of what we wanted for Ishmael's career, and we've got a lot of confidence going into this, but we know it's going to be a hard, tough fight. Sam Gilly's a tough, rugged operator. He stands to have a fight. I mean, and we like that matchup for Ish. We like it because we don't know how many people are from this country anyway as tough as Ish physically. And like you said, I thought we was very hard done by against Jarko. I think we out-pressured him, out-threw him, out-landed him, out-damaged him, outworked him. I think in every aspect, I thought we won that fight. I think apart from, some smothering and some holding and some bursts of work in between, I thought we was the better fighter in every aspect. I thought we was up going to the last round. The bookies had us way up. I think it was 1-4 on, so we was looking at going into the last round, and then he got a knockdown. So I don't know if it was the home corner. I don't know if it was whatever it was, but we felt hard done by. We not chalked that one as a loss. This fight date here, Ish has fought 4 weeks ago. So 8 weeks ago he fought a Jarko. 4 weeks ago he fought a comeback to get back in the winning column. Yeah. Kevin Jarko is probably not even sparring it from that fight. So how did we lose that fight? I don't know.
Well, one of the things that actually his mate Ollie Murs mentioned yesterday, because we interviewed the both of them, was Ishmael's durability as a fighter. Just how tough he is, how stern he is. And that's one of the factors in this fight this weekend that they are looking at.
Yeah, and as they should, because you don't really get too much fighters, especially from this side of the water, as tough as Ish, been through as much as Ish, with the mental depthness that Ish has got. And look, we are 100% backing him, 100% rooting for him. And in the grand scheme of things, he's only ever got in the ring and competed boxing 17 times in his whole entire life. He didn't have no amateurs. He had one unlicensed as a 13-year-old kid on just a random show when he was a baby. Didn't have no more fights until his professional debut, and he's still learning on the job. But with Ish, because of how tough he is, he can get in the ring with absolutely anyone, and he can mix it. And a couple of times he's lost. He's walked out the ring like he hasn't had a fight yet, and his opponent looked like they've had 3 fights. You know what I mean? That Josh Kelly had Jarko fight. They were battered getting out of the ring with Ish, and Ish looked like he hadn't even started yet. Like he was in the change room still warming up. So, yeah, Ish is a very, 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 very tough competitor.
No better man than yourself as well to give him that key advice too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, look, he's got Keith Walton doing a fantastic job with him, pulled him into the gym, giving him his professional career, and I'm just trying to support in any which way I can. Before I started working with Ish, he was a good friend of mine, so it's been a great journey. We got each other's backs to the end. Win, lose, or draw, I'll be behind him all the way.
Let's get to the main event. There's a lot of animosity this week. It's heating up, especially between Eddie Hearn and Senior today. I don't know if you've seen the interview on TalkSport. He had mentioned that Senior wanted an appearance fee to go to Barry Hearn's 60th birthday 15 years ago. And he's also suing Chris Eubank Jr. For the claim made about the ambulance not being allowed to leave the stadium back in April. So it's going to heat up there later on, I reckon.
Yeah, I hope they're filming for another Netflix series, because some right drama going on at the moment, isn't it? It's like Love and Hip Hop in the boxing world. But yeah, look, if I was Eddie, with the obviousness being that it weren't Eddie sat behind somewhere pressing a button, keeping the door shut, Eddie was probably in his Rolls Royce trying to get the hell out of the venue the same way everyone else was after he'd done his interviews. But
it's a tough venue to get out of. It's very tough.
It's the toughest when there's
congested.
Yeah, like I was stuck in the car park where the fighters were all exiting. So like we should have like a little bit of a better way out, which we did. It still took an hour and a half, 2 hours to get out of the car park. My car was blocking in Cole Palmer's. He left his car and went walking into the London City and probably got a taxi home. But tend to make a claim that Eddie Hearn was the reason. it's suable. It really is. It's damaging to fighters wanting to fight, and a lot of people are now going, "Oh, Sonny's a company man." No, but you can't just slander someone. Now you can say the organisation of the event was in a way where I got stuck and I didn't have. You can't just go, "Oh, Eddie Hearn didn't let me go to hospital." You can't say that because it definitely weren't Eddie pressing the button, not opening the gate. Why it didn't open? There was probably a reason why they didn't just press the button. There was probably a blockade of cars and people on the other side of that gate. As I can only imagine, there was everywhere around Tottenham. If you was parked 5-6 roads away, you still weren't getting out for hours. You know what I mean? You had to park 15 minutes away and hope that you was on the right road to get out. And that was for hours. Tottenham, for me, isn't built for, at night time especially, 90,000 people all trying to walk out. It's always going to be a problem. Like I've been saying all week. For fights of this magnitude, especially when there's this much money on the table, there should be a purpose-built hospital room with all the equipment in. And they're going to try and tell... People can make hospital rooms in their house if they need it. They'd be able to do it. And it would cost not one fraction of what everyone's making. So why they have to get in an ambulance and rush to a hospital when there's 90,000 people around on a Saturday night in London City, I don't know. I've had it on a much smaller scale where fighters have been told to go up A&E and I've had to get plastic surgeons to come and stitch them up because the doctor that the board provided wouldn't even touch them or write them a letter to go to A&E on a fast track. Wouldn't look at them. Just, "Oh, here you are, you're suspended." So I get the frustration of Chris Eubank. I get it. But categorically saying it was Eddie Hearn the reason as to why that happened, you can't, man. No one was getting out there. Everyone was there. Anyone that was there and knows that no one was getting out. So anyone that was actually at the venue, I'm not surprised you couldn't get to the hospital for hours. I'm not surprised. I couldn't move 1 meter for 2 hours. In the car park, that was the back exit out. So imagine if you was in any other position of the stadium. Nightmare getting out.
One final question. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, negotiations have begun. It's looking like it could be confirmed for next month. What are your thoughts on that? What do you give Jake Paul any credit for taking a fight like this, or?
Yeah, definitely, but you don't care, does he? If he's gonna get knocked out by anyone, might as well be a former heavyweight champion of the world, an Olympic gold medalist, biggest star. He cares about what it's generating, and the amount of money that AJ's team will demand for him to get in a ring because of how big of a draw he is, they won't always be able to make that back fighting someone that really no one cares about. Now, there probably isn't as much of a bigger name out there right now, outside of a Tyson Fury, for AJ to fight than a Jake Paul. So I'd be shocked right now if the fight didn't happen. I'd be shocked, and so be it.
How do you see it happen? How do you see it going?
I mean, if AJ don't knock him out within about 6 minutes tops, then there's a lot of question marks. If that fight went the distance, then we could end the argument about whether Jake Paul's fights are fixed or not. You'd think, but who knows? Maybe Jake Paul will clip him. Maybe.
Sonny, always a pleasure, my man. A legend. We're Roosh TV with Roosh into the camera. So on 3, 2, 1, Roosh.